Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to welcome all of you to Accra and to the campus of her premier university in the vibrant city of Accra for the 60th anniversary of the All-African People's Conference, AAPC. I'm sure that hardly any of you were present at the meeting of the conference here in Accra in 1958. I'm equally certain that the famed Ghanaian hospitality, which greeted the more than 300 delegates from 28 countries across the continent who attended the conference 60 years ago, has not changed for those of you who are visiting from outside our shores. You are amongst the people who pride themselves on their sense of hospitality, and I hope you're enjoying your stay amongst us. Akwaba is our word of welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, on midnight of 5th March, 1957, as we entered 6th March, the day of our independence, we lowered the British flag and we jettisoned the name Gold Coast that had been given to us and took on the name of Ghana, the name of our ancestral home. The name Ghana was meant to give us a fresh start and mark the break from colonialism. And it was also meant to serve as a link to our historical roots and the assurance that we have a history, culture, and civilization that preceded colonialism. It was on that historic night that our first leader, then Prime Minister, the charismatic, legendary Kwame Nkrumah, uttered at the old Polo Grounds, which today houses the mausoleum in his memory, the sweetest of words: Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. In the delirious reception that attended those words, he made the declaration that was to etch him deeply in the consciousness of the African people. He went on to say in that oft-cited statement, and I quote, "We again rededicate ourselves in the struggle to emancipate other countries in Africa. For our independence is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent," unquote. It was thus that Kwame Nkrumah became the symbol and the voice for the cause of African independence and freedom. Those famous words generated hope and excitement, not only in Ghana, but across the entire African continent. There was renewed optimism, born out of the fact that if Ghana had made it, the rest of Africa could equally be free. Africa's newly minted country, which had shed its cloak of colonialism, led by its dynamic leader, was going to help in this struggle for continental liberation. And so it was that exactly 60 years ago, that the All-Africa People's Conference formed, quote, to represent the position that Africa should be returned to the peoples and groups, unquote, was held in Accra. The conference brought together under one roof famous nationalist leaders of the time, such as Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba, Oginga Odinga, Kenneth Kaunda, Tommy Moya, Hastings Banda, Holden Roberto, and the celebrated Caribbean revolutionary and writer Frantz Fanon, then a delegate of the Algerian FLA. Indeed, the leaflet produced for the conference have the words, quote, "Forward to independence now," unquote, boldly imprisoned on it. Your guess is as good as mine as to who was the inspiration for this theme. There can be little doubt about the impetus of the struggle for decolonization and independence that this conference provided. Within the next decade, virtually all of West Africa saw the emergence of independent states, a process that subsequently engulfed all of Africa. In his speech at the inaugural conference, Kwame Nkrumah described the liberation of Africa as the task for the African peoples. He said, and I quote, "We Africans alone can emancipate ourselves. We welcome the expressions of support from others,